This is a pretty flat side right here, even if I leave this just a little bit proud, but we get the flux off of there. We'll go ahead and cut the gears, and then when we pull this from the mandrel, I can take it and lap it on that lapping pad over there and get it to smooth out if there is a high of 1,000 or so. We'll take a look at it here as soon as we get past that little area there of flux right there. Boy, does that ever feel so. It still measures like 6 or 7. 692, 680, 785. There's 4. Sometimes that flux will actually dull your insert. And then you're working with a tool pressure. Oh, that feels smooth right there. Probably be hard pressed to get something in here now. 2 thousandths. Okay, I'm going to leave that like that because I can lap that in right there. All right, let's get it out of here. Well, first I want to break the 2 edges there with the same little tiny angle that's on the gear teeth at there. So we're going to angle this over here like this. Okay, and put the other one in. There we go. I like that. Has a couple little porosities in there. I'm not going to snivel about that. Okay, make sure we got all the chips out of there, and we come in here and all right, we know we're going to be starting over here because we want to feed it down that way there. We're still on center, and we can go ahead and we can bring in this center, or a tailstock piece. Alright, so we can still rotate this around. Because what we're going to do is we're going to bring this over and we're going to engage it into one of the teeth there, and we're going to be playing hand feely with the cutter and the gear. and then we'll lock this down. But before we do that, and before we get too carried away here right now, I want to go ahead and unlock this and set our pin in 0. All right, now we can set up what we feel comfortable with as far as being in line with a tooth with our cutter, and then we'll be able to go from there, and we'll rotate and we'll go around this thing here. Whether we actually touch each and every single one of these teeth just to go ahead and freshen them up, I think it would be wise to just ghost it and just shadow it, and then go ahead and take the other teeth there. Okay, I got this snug, but I can rotate this in the chuck here, and I'm going to pull it in manually by hand here to where I pretty close line up with one of those teeth, you see. I'm going to back it up some more, and we're rotating that tooth out. Back it out some more. Okay, we got the tooth in there right now, and I can barely get that to rock back and forth right there. Okay, I got this freewheeling to where I can spin this backwards. I'm going to crank this back just a little bit more, okay, because I got that in there. This has got very, very little tiny bit of backlash in here. I can't hardly feel anything in here, yet I can continually move this. Okay, one last thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, we're going to put a flashlight behind here so that I can see the light behind it. And we'll go ahead and we'll get rid of this light here, and we're going to put this in here like this, and we're going to stare through here. Okay, I like that right there. So now I got my 1/2 inch. I don't know if I can get it in here. I'm going to see if I can get my other one in here. Got a little bit on it. I'm going to crank this one right here tight. I'm just going straight back until I can get this in here. Alright, let's go back in here again. Was pretty good and tight. Okay, so we know that coming in right there, that works. But just make sure our travel is still good as far as our stop. going to mark my dial here. Almost 124 or so. And I'm going to come back to our 100. That's where we made the first pass. Alright, and we're going to rotate it to the first hole. Probably got some flux and stuff on that side there. Okay, here comes the first cut into the brass. Now our next one. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to go one at a time until we go all the way through with the 100,000 deep, and then we're going to back up to the first tooth again. Okay, we've made it past the last. I think that just has a little flux in there. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go one more tooth. That was the last one that was filled with braids. This might be just a little bit of flux on the. Actually, we'll leave that for the last. We're gonna go ahead and back out here now, and we're gonna come back to our very first gear tooth. That one there. That's the one we set up on. And then it was two more teeth was where we actually started. But I'm going to go one tooth. I got the Bridgeport running on a mill cutter there, so it's kind of a little noisy. Okay, going right to my mark again. Alright, let's feed it in right there. And that should be taking out the flux and stuff like that. We'll take a look at that pattern on that tooth after we get completely through that. stop it, we're going to come around that side because we need to actually get where the camera's at. Okay, that's what it looks like. It looks like we just cut the flux out of it. Alright, so we're going to continue with that depth and we're going to go past all the teeth there. It really does look like I got some good material in there. Alright, here we go, full depth. Okay, that was the last full depth with the braze. Now here is the outside tooth. To clean out the flux that's in there. And I'm just feeding this by hand here because I just know it's going to knock that out of there. And there we go. Okay, let me bring you over to this other side. We're going to roll the teeth over so that we can see them. Alright, let's take a look at them bad boys. I do see one little inclusion down in the root there. Yeah, it looks pretty clean. Those all look good and clean. Those two look good. Little tiny bit of inclusion right on the top, not bad. And those 5, actually 4.5. This one here on the outside is excellent. All usable teeth right there. And we'll put this in a lathe and we're going to go ahead and spin it just to polish up the surfaces there, and we can consider that repair done. And then we'll go over to the mill and we're going to use this as a pattern and put the whole pattern into this gear here to match that one. Couple of gold crowns, huh? Well, I think that's pretty good. Actually, we're going to go ahead and break this nut loose here now so we can pull this gear assembly off. There we go. Alright, now we can go grab that centerpiece with the keyway in there and line that up, and we're going to go work this hole pattern in the mill over there.